of Women Incorporated. It's not easy to maintain an organization, to keep people moving forward, to keep people committed and working hard. And then you have the pandemic that comes in with COVID, and that immediately changes the dynamics of everything. But you are resilient, you've come back, you're here, and you're part of San Diego. It's been about 53 years when I came to San Diego to teach at San Diego State University. And one of the first things I saw in the paper was an article about Women Incorporated and the pictures and the hats that the women had on and how this was the place to be. And little did I know I'd eventually become a member of Women Inc., but I just want to commend them because it is difficult in these difficult times to keep an organization alive, to keep people motivated, to keep you having hope and optimism about what the world holds for you and your families. And yet this is a critical part of the Black community, our organizations. I often tell folks in Sacramento and around the world that are not African American that we are the most organized people on the face of the earth, Black people.
Amen.
We have more organizations than anybody.
That part.
And I am sure if I ask you to name the ones that you're a member of, most of you are at least in 5, if not 10.
Yep.
We are just organized. And whether it's our sororities, our fraternities, whether it's the military, whether it's this group, foreign, this, we are organized Black folks all across the nation. And there's always something happening in our churches, in our neighborhoods, because we know the value of being organized and staying organized. So I want to commend you today for that. I just simply want to say a couple of things as your Secretary of State.
It's okay.
This has been a challenge. And I don't think when I was actually asked to become Secretary of State, I had no idea that we'd be in such a tremendously downward spiral across the nation. Such is not the case, of course, in California, because we're the largest nation in the union. And we also are a donor state, so we do have some resources that we can talk about. But equally important, we stand tall and firm on the issues that are important. And that upsets people across the nation who don't want us to vote, who don't want us to thrive, who don't want us to live and to be important. California is the largest voting base in the nation. And it has, and not only that, but we have 83% of all of the potential folks who can register actually registered to vote. This past time, we had 72% of all of those who showed up to vote, which was the largest base of a large state in the union, that we basically had our folks going to the polls. That doesn't make people very happy. And as a result, you will see a number of things coming out on how we can restrict voting in California, how we can go to one-day voting, how we can make it difficult for you to be a absentee ballot in terms of vote by mail, how difficult they can make it in terms of identification of who you are, having restrictions on everybody registering to vote, taking away our registration that we can do now online, and making everyone having to show up at the county seat in order to register. These are the things that my father, my grandfather, and my great-grandfather had to contend with. So I never thought in my lifetime I would be faced with the same challenge. People not wanting us to vote, creating misinformation that we have a lot of fraud, want us to count all our ballots in one day so that our folks won't get counted, and it goes on and on and on. But we're here at Women Inc., and Women Inc. has a long tradition of engagement in the community. Every elected official has come out of our community, has gone through some kind of the Women Incorporated. My first fundraiser was held at Women's Incorporated home. Miss DeWitt was the person who had the very first fundraiser for me, who had told me that I was running when I kept saying I wasn't.
Amen.
And so as a result of that, you have been engaged with that. Ruth Green was the first African-American woman to run for the state assembly from San Diego. She didn't win, but she was at least running, and there was an engagement on the part of Women Incorporated to make a difference. I just simply want to say you are here today by design. Those founders of Women Inc. and those who have worked for the years have actually been somewhat the strongest organization we've had in terms of not only honoring individuals, but giving money to nonprofit organizations, making sure that our girls club and boys clubs were taken care of, and it goes on and on with the things that we have done through Women Incorporated. There comes a time, and it is probably now, that we're gonna have to do it again. As we have an administration that wants to take away all funding from everything we can do. They wanna make it difficult for us to register to vote, to make it harder. They're in court trying to do things, and my folks are fighting in court every day. We have so many lawsuits, it's over 100 that we filed this year alone on behalf of California and the nation. So we are fighting every step of the way. But I always tell folks that if we lose on every now and then, that does not define us, because we have been in positions in the past where we have lost initially, and we just kept on fighting, and we kept on going. And if they make up new rules about where you can vote, you're gonna go there and vote anyway.
Amen.
You're going to make sure that they understand in no uncertain terms that they cannot in any way deter us from being the community that we are, standing up for what is right for us, demanding the things that are ours, we have rightfully owned. And the fact that we are a vital part of this nation. We've given so much, and all we ask is for respect in return. So I simply want to say I'm glad to be here with you. We are fighting this battle across the nation, and it is a good battle, because all of us should be standing up for what we know is right, and not bow down, not give in, not let these folks cave in on us, but actually standing for what is right and just that our ancestors insisted that we get. And we will not go back, we will not give up, and we will never give in. So I'm glad that you're here today. I hope you have your fighting shoes on, your good boots for running and fighting and carrying on and doing what you need to do. That when we call you and tell you that do not buy into the SAVE Act, make sure you write your congressperson and everybody else and let them know that we will not turn the clock back. That we have arrived at a place where we have large turnouts of voters. We have those of our folks who are registered to vote and who are actively involved, and we will not give it up out of discouragement or indifference on the part of others. So I simply want to say to you, it is always a pleasure to me to be here with you, to be a part of Women Incorporated. It's one of, like I said, one of my favorite organizations. I'm just excited to see all these happy faces, see those who are being honored, but understand with honor comes responsibility, and with holding an organization like this comes responsibility. And we will not give in or ever give up. I want to thank you for what you've done, for the love you've always shown me, and for being there when I needed you, but when we need each other. So once again, welcome to this amazing luncheon. Women Inc. is 60 years old. We've had 57 luncheons, but we are 60 years old. We were founded in the same year that the Voting Rights Act was founded in 1965. That says our legacy is strong, and we know who we are, and we'll fight to maintain it. So once again, thank you and have a great luncheon. Thank you.